Hi, welcome to video number 3 on questions with how. We've looked at questions like how come, how often, how far, how long. Now let's look at some more common questions with how. Okay. Example A, how do you spell coming? How do you say yes in Japanese? How do you say or how do you pronounce this word? Okay, so very useful questions for a language learner to know. How do you spell this word? How do you say this word? How do you pronounce this word? We also have a lot of various ways to say, how are you? So let's look at example D, E, and F. How are you getting along? How are you doing? How's it going? These are all questions that mean the same thing. How are you? Okay, the answers would be great, fine, okay, so, not bad. I'm doing good. How are you? Okay. If you want to be a little more specific to ask about someone's emotion or feeling, you can ask something like question G. How do you feel? Or how are you feeling? So you're asking about their health, their emotional state. Again, they can answer they're terrific, wonderful, great, fine, okay, so. Maybe they say they're a bit under the weather, not so good. Or maybe they say, oh, terrible, lousy, awful. I feel really sick today. And then in example H, we have the more formal, how do you do? How do you do is used by two speakers when they meet each other for the first time in a somewhat formal situation. So say you were meeting your teacher for the first time, or you were meeting your boss, or you were going to a job interview, some kind of more formal situation. You say like, oh, hi, my name is Aaron. Oh, hi, nice to meet you. A pleasure to meet you. How do you do? How do you do? Okay, so again, you're asking how are you, but it's in a more formal situation. So let's practice with a little of these how questions. Let's do a couple of activities here. Okay, so here I have some common how questions, and at the top of the page, we have the answer. So imagine that you were out and about in class or in public, you're meeting someone and they asked you this question. How would you respond? How would you answer that question? So if someone asked, how do you spell your name? Okay, we can see here at the top, we would spell our name Clinton. Okay, if you have a name like mine, that's not a very common name. People might ask you, how do you spell your name? Okay, how do you want your coffee? Okay, this means, how do you like it, right? How do you want it to be made? You can see here the answer with a little milk, no sugar. How's it going? And if you remember, how's it going is another way of saying, how are you? You're doing great. How do you say thank you in Spanish? So we're looking for a Spanish word here. For all you Spanish speakers out there, that's very easy. Gracias. How do you pronounce the state? Arkansas? Is this Arkansas? No, it's pronounced Arkansas. Arkansas. How do you do? Okay, we're meeting someone for the first time. It's a somewhat formal situation. How do you do? You answer with the same question. How do you do? How do you like your new job? And then this person says, it's okay, but I like my old office better. Okay. The last one, how long does the semester last? 4 months. Let's try a couple of more. Okay, so we've looked at a lot of different how questions so far. So let's look at these, look at the answers that are given and try to figure out what the question will be. Was the question, how do you spell? Or how's it going? Or maybe the question was, how far? How long? How much? How often? So pause the video now, read through number 1 through 7, and try to figure out what kind of how question is being asked. If you need, go back and watch video 1 and video 2 on how questions. Okay. Have you finished doing these? You ready to check your answers? If you're not, pause the video now. Let's look at them first. Let's go ahead and check your answers. Number 1, we have from your house to the beach. That is a distance question. How far is it? Okay. In number 2, you're asking about knowing someone. Okay, the answer is pretty well. So how well, okay, do you know? Okay, okay. The answer is pretty well, very well, or not well. The question is how well. Number 3, it was easy. The English so well. It was easy. I went to college in Texas. Okay. How do you speak English so well? Okay. Mississippi. How do you spell Mississippi? Okay. And number 5, the answer is 3 times a month. That's frequency. So the question would be how often or how many times a month do you eat out? Okay. A haircut every 6 weeks or so. Again, frequency, how often do you get a haircut? And then okay, we're looking at something. It's not a big apartment. It has 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. It's not big. So we're asking how big is the apartment you're looking at? If you didn't get one of these exactly right, go back and rewatch my videos on how far or how long or how often. And now we're going to look at the last how about. The question how about has the same meaning and usage as the question what about. How about and what about are used to make suggestions or make offers. So in example A, someone says, we need 1 more player. How about Jack? Or what about Jack? I'm suggesting, I'm making a suggestion, let's ask Jack if he wants to play. Okay, in example B, someone asks, what time should we meet? How about 3 o'clock? Or what about 3 o'clock? I'm making the suggestion that we meet at 3 o'clock. Example C, what should we do this afternoon? How about going to the zoo? Okay. Example D, what about asking Sally over for dinner next Sunday? Okay, good idea. So what about, how about making suggestions or making offers? Okay, these are used very frequently in informal spoken English. How about and what about can also be used to ask a repeated question. Okay, so you ask me a question and I want to ask you the same question back. So example A, I say I'm tired. How about you? Okay, the question means, are you tired too? Yes, I'm tired too. Okay, so whatever question or sentence I just said, I want to know, does this apply to you too? I am tired. How about you? Or an example F, are you hungry? No. What about you? So again, this is meaning, are you hungry? You just asked me, am I hungry? So no, I'm not hungry, but what about you? Or how about you? Are you hungry? So how about, what about can refer to the previous information that someone said or asked. Let's practice with a sample conversation looking at how about. Okay, here we have a conversation between two friends. Someone says, hey, are you busy Friday night? No. And then they want to ask, no, I'm not busy. Are you busy? Okay. So the question would be, how about you? Are you busy Friday night? No. How about you? Me neither. Do you want to do something? Okay. Do you want to do something Friday night? Do you want to do something? Sure. What do you have in mind? And now you want to make a suggestion. You want to suggest going to a movie. Okay. So your suggestion would be, how about going to a movie? We use the ing form of the verb after the question, how about? How about going to a movie? I'd rather do something else. Well, and now we have our second suggestion. You don't want to go to a movie. How about get tickets to a concert? The question would be, how about trying to get tickets to a concert? Great. And after the concert, here's a suggestion. Eat at that new vegetarian restaurant. How about eating at that new vegetarian restaurant? So we have suggestions. Go ahead and practice. Make your own suggestions with how about or what about. Put them in the comments of this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.